not sure how I feel about Rapier either. So it looks like DPM. Do we know when the next round is being generated for this tournament? I don't know. Fourth place is a little low. If there's ever a lobby that's like fourth place is fine in, it's probably that one. I think that had like many of the top players in the entire tournament, right? I think there's like very few, like, I guess like BB4 and up players in this tournament. What's the name of the tournament? This is the board battle something. I should probably know the name of the tournament I'm playing in. It's BoardBattles. So all winners will go into the same group for round 2, all second place, and so on. So how this is gonna work, how this tournament format works is there's 64 players. It is 8 games of 8. We got 4th, which means now we're gonna get matched against every other 4th place player, basically. Apparently, according to MT. Is that how it works? Or is that how... That's what he's saying. I don't know. I mean, that would actually make the most sense. Okay, maybe that's not how it works. I feel like that would make sense, though. Actually, there's problems with that. Doesn't that punish you for getting first? Yeah, that's true. Somewhat. I mean, that's kind of always how it's going to be in, like, to some degree in the tournament format. You're always going to be against harder players if you finish higher, right? Like a Swiss format or something. But, I mean, you still have, like, a better start, right? Yo, look at this. Oh, shit. Yo. Next match is generated. So we're against, like, all of the 4th placers. I haven't heard of any of these people. Breaky C... Yeah, I know Breaky CPK. He's the caster. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the players. No, who's this Storm guy?
I'm basically...
I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna do something, like, self-deprecating. this... Honestly, this is even more self-deprecating, though, so it kind of works out in the end.
Try to pair me up with positive people, okay?
Is this your alt account? Yeah, this is my 3rd account. I'm trying to get this one to Lord, too. My first 2 I renamed to Gara is Noob. Okay. So I think it's Enchantress. Enchantress or Tiny are pretty close, like, open vacuum picks. Right now, Enchantress, Tiny, and Batrider are my, like, top 3. And it's pretty even between them, honestly. Being the only one on Enchantress doesn't really matter. Blight versus Gloves versus Soul-Sucking Siphon. All 3 of these are very good. I value them all about the same. That's actually a really tough choice. Okay, this is actually a really easy choice. It's a fairly dead one here. So Blight versus Gloves is very close. Gloves is 20% DPS and mana gain from attacks. Blightstone is a lot more DPS on single targets. I think Gloves is better than Blight. I've been like kind of like thinking about this, thinking about like scenarios and the math in my head for a while, and I think Gloves is probably just a little bit better than Blight in general. Blight, the one thing that makes Blight the fact that split shot applies Blight is nice. Butcher the Martyr, right? I don't think I like Octarine Essence. I don't know. It's good on very specific circumstances. Pretty rough start so far. I mean, we're pairing the Drowse, which is okay, but this pack is very dead. We can't even get 2 1-costs. Like, CM Witch Doctor Puck is a really, really rough pack in this case. I guess I think I just get all the 1-cost, honestly. Like, I can't even get Witch Doctor. So basically, we lose a full unit on our bench here, which is a little awkward. Would be worth it if we had, like, more pairs. It looks like we're not on much. Witch Doctor with Octarine is so good, though. Witch Doctor is a solid unit early. It might just take precedence. It might take precedence over, like, a Bloodseeker 1. I mean, he's a decent fighter, but he kind of needs to have a Batrider as his wingman. Jesus. This is a bad start. We're kind of on nothing. We're forced into Tranquils here, I think, too. CK Luna is going to have to be it, right? I mean, this is like the best board we can even try to do. Luna is a pretty shit level 1 unit. I mean, this level 1 board shouldn't be beating anyone. Oh, this actually is kind of close. Looks like we might be good against this board. Oh, look at that. He's got a Batrider, though. Batrider is scary in these like kind of like long drawn-out fights. He needs to die early. Should be good, though. Like, I mean, we've got a demon and he doesn't. That's like, that's the only thing that matters here. So we're just going to favor these 1 costs. Basically, early game is kind of all about 1 costs. 1 cost is the name of the game. 2 cost units are like the, I guess they're called uncommons. These are sometimes a little bit stronger. And sometimes they can, like, you know, a couple of them are demons, like CK and Quap, which is neat. But upgrading them is a lot less likely to happen. It's very significantly less likely. By round 10, you have 20% the normal chance to upgrade it as you would if it was any other unit. Which is a really, really big difference, right? Something like this is fine. We do need the CK to be linked to Luna, though. It's kind of like hard to position this because there's not really a reliable way to make CK linked to Luna. Someone's playing this Tourney from the phone, sitting on the toilet. Oh shit, this guy's playing from the phone. It's funny. So it looks like this, so far at least, could be a bit of a low roll lobby. Our board is like average just after completing that Enchantress, but the 2 boards we faced were really weak so far. Let's have a look. 3 Fall from Graces already. And a Smuggler. Okay, this guy has Fall from Grace, Smuggler, Embarrassment of Riches. Arguably the 3 best items possible. And that's the nuts. We're online. We don't have the Warrior Completer, though. That's kind of the one thing. Ah, man. I don't have a 3rd Warrior. God, I never get good luck. Thinking about selling to this interest points. I think it's probably worth it for this interest points. It would require selling the Drow pair. Oh, looks like we lost this one anyway. I'm glad I didn't sell. Because like what I would have done was sell like everything except for the Drow pair, I think. Which means getting off of Luna, which because no one's on Knights is not necessarily a good thing. And then hope I win up to the interest point, right? Because I don't think I can get off like the Drow pair this early. And here's our items kind of holding us back. Like Brooch of the Martyr and Tranquil Boots are just pretty low tier items at this point of the game. Yo, it's Lefty. Hey, man. Welcome to the 180K Club. So basically, I think we're going to need 1st or 2nd. I think if we don't get 1st or 2nd, we probably don't have a chance of advancing. So this is basically insane. This is almost a dream pack. This is actively, literally absurd. We got the Pudge, the Drow, and both CKs. What the hell, dude? That's actually crazy. Without a warrior perk, we might actually lose this one. Tusk died very quickly. Enchantress has heal. Heal's got us. And of course, we're just completing all of this.
I could do this all
Since
day.
our streak got interrupted, there's no reason to buy these this round. Now, if we were still on the streak we wanted to protect, I still wouldn't have done it. interest points more worthwhile. This board with 4 2-stars will be beating boards that have 5 units even. It's silly to even think about doing anything else. And it looks like Enchantress gets replaced by the CK here, right? Holy shit. We have like too many good things, dude. Our board is literally too good. We don't have room for all of this. I don't think we can upgrade here either. It can't be right to upgrade or to level up. I don't know. Taking a 2-star Ench might be too trolly. I feel like the early warrior, when I have like the 2 warriors that are 2-starred, the early warrior completion is very important. I could be playing a bit more aggressively for this streak. It looks like there's actually some pretty high rollers here. But the most important thing is, like, when you're in a good position, you don't just like sell out of interest, right?
Where am I needed?
Interest is your friend. We can't be leveling here. Leveling is, in general, kind of a trap, I would say. Like, in these early rounds, especially like right now, with such a like a lithium economy focused game, and like now that like I don't even want this. I'm thinking about not buying this.
Thank you, goddess.
We're gonna have to sell our druids, right? We have too much stuff. Like, we literally can't fit druids into this. There's no way. We need to be on the 3 warriors with the drow, which means like on round 11 when we might level to protect our streak, we have to put in like Luna CK. I mean, the druids are only worth keeping over the knights if I'm thinking Treant 3 will happen. Or like Treant 2 to make the 50-50 at Treant 3. But, I mean, we can't miss these interest points. I guess we don't have to choose yet. I don't know, dude. You see, my net worth is shit. We're tied for 3rd net worth. Let's have a look at the positionings. There's one other pudge. So there's one pudge out of all these opponents. We should level up here. We should take like the double level here, because now we have a streak to protect, and there are other powerful boards in this lobby. So this level to put in the Luna is good. The most important thing with positioning is we want to put Luna and CK in a place where CK won't walk away from her, which can be a little awkward. Knights are a trap. I think an early knight pair is a fine thing. Knights aren't necessarily a committal build. And here it's just an easy chainmail. The thing about knights is, like, when you pair them, when I have like one of them is a demon and one of them is just like a decent damage chonker, like this is okay. It kind of does the most. At 30%, just for being paired is a nice benefit. So I just sell the Enchantress here, right? We want to respect these positions. Something like this is kind of important to do.
They don't have a chance in hell.
We want to respect Sleepwalker's board. That's why I moved this here. So we want the CK here so it doesn't walk away from the Luna, and we want the chainmail on it because it's attracting 5 attacks at once. The most important thing to do right now when you're win streaking is to respect the win streakers boards, right? So I'm just like, as far as I'm concerned, Shizu Bot and at the time Sleepwalker are the only 2 actual opponents I have in this game. In terms of positioning, because against anyone else it does not matter how I'm positioned, right? So I play assuming my decisions matter. Against this guy it's harder, because there's no way, I think, to guarantee CK won't walk away from Luna against this guy. But my backline is pretty tanky. It's just both 2 stars, which is pretty nice. This board wins 15? Yeah. We shouldn't really have an issue. I think we have to hit this interest point. I think we have to sell this Omni. I mean, my board, I need... Like, Omni Knight... We could keep Shadow Fiend. No, we're not keeping Shadow either. I think we just want the guaranteed interest point. We have the CK2, which means we're not in Shadow Fiend. So suddenly, I might want something a bit more like this against...
Let's prove
so we'll move our Chainmail. This guy's got a lot of 2 stars, but shouldn't even be close. He has, like, no alliance synergies. Oni's trash. Yeah, I don't think I want to be in a lot of Knights here. When I'm on a win streak, I can go for, like, an early good stuff transition. Like, this is the kind of game where we could, in theory, be 10 on 25. I do that, I think, too much. I've been kind of, like, experimenting with the idea of, like, aggressively going to 10 on 25. And it's proper in a pretty narrow case of circumstances. This is one of them, I think. It's going to depend. I mean, we haven't decided yet, but it looks pretty good. Knight dropped a lot since the Troll Global fixed. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So if we sold out of everything except for Alchemist, we'd be able to keep the Alchemist, which is good because this is a good unit and very possibly part of our endgame board. I think we have what we can call a guaranteed win here. Seems to be a guaranteed win. I don't think there's anything weird to do with these items because I feel like I have an unlosable board right now. I mean, I've got really tight alliances, right? Like 3 warriors, 2 heartless, 2 knights, 1 demon is very good for like 6 units together. We're wasting relatively few tags. And I mean, everything's level 2. The only thing that's not level 2 is Pudge, and Pudge is kind of just a good unit. We can't go for... I think when we have a good start, it's less good to try to go for a 3-star. Let's look at these other top boards now. We always just want to keep our eyes on these other top boards. So this guy's like kind of left. They're both kind of left. Inverse our board. I think the best thing to do is put Blade Mail on, to put Chainmail on Pudge though. It's kind of weird. We want to inverse our board against this to make it better, but we want to make sure we're still okay if we're against the board like this and there's like 4 things attacking Pudge. We would want the Chainmail to be on, you know, him. Chainmail on the Knight buff is really good against like one specific board, but I don't want to weaken my odds against other boards too much.
Well, they tried.
Is it still the qualifiers? Yeah. So this tournament is like top 4 out of 64 advance, which means we basically need like 2 first places or like maybe like a first and second. I don't even know if first, second, and fourth. First, second, and fourth might not be good enough. Because only 4 players out of 64 are actually proceeding, right? It's possible we need to get first place in both of these other ones to advance. We'll see. So obviously we're taking the aggressive level to 7 on 16. I'm gonna go, when you have like high economy win streak, the play is definitely to go to 8 on 17 in this meta. So the question is, what are the 2 units we're going to add in? And the answer is Alchemist plus any other Warlock except for Shadow Fiend, basically. Necrophos would be good. Necrophos plus Abaddon would be solid. Going to 4 Heartless, 3 Knights isn't terrible. I don't think there's anything we can run here. Can't really be in Doom with some like a CK upgraded. So we have Mask of Madness. I think both of these items are kind of useless.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
I don't really lock Octarine in late game, so I think I'll just take Mom. Mom is quite good. 40% DPS on Luna's neat. For the singleton slot, just like a random ass DK is probably okay. I think it's a bit better than Alchemist. Actually, is that even true? Kind of like Alchemist. Yo, 99 hits. What's up, man? Welcome to the 1-8K club. So the one thing about Octarine is it's technically a little bit better in like super late game. I mean, putting it on like Necrophos or something in like super late game, like round 30, 35 plus, is not terrible. And I mean, Mask of Madness will literally be unequipped by then. But I feel like it does fairly little to the point where I would rather have Mask doing more in these rounds, and I'm okay at being literally useless 35 plus. That being said, it's totally possible I underrate Octarine in like 30 to 35 plus. Because like even in the super late game situations, Octarine is solid. I mean, there's not really a hero we can put Mask of Madness on in endgame, right? I think like sometimes it could have been better on Dusa. So there's nothing to actually buy here. We were really looking for like another Knight or Warlock. I guess we should have taken Mr. Warlock. Is that worth running Mr. Warlock here? Whatever, I'll just run 2 Alchemists. I don't think it matters. So Immortal is level 8. I assume the other Lord player... No, he's not going to 8 here. So we're burning through 1 gold of interest, basically. We're paying 1 gold of interest to get level 8 earlier, which is just worth it. Even though our streak timed out, it's still worth like playing to win because we're going to start another streak probably. I don't think this other streak is going to last very long. I'd be perfectly happy if it lasted through like round 22 or 23. But it's still a bit of gold to try to ensure we win these as well as get higher value rolls naturally. Mask gives you immediate returns when you're streaking and you don't know when you'll get Necro. That's my line of reasoning, basically. And the thing is, like, early game dominance leads into late game dominance, right? Like, when I'm streaking and when I'm dominating early, Mask will offer A, it'll mean I can be a bit greedier about, like, my board swap. Huh, this is weird. I guess I can like sell CM and put in like Omni DK. There's kind of nothing to buy here either. Is Pudge 2 worth? If I complete it soon enough, I think so, yeah. That's the idea. Never sell CM? That's kind of my thinking. I think she's only really good when you get like Fall from Grace, personally. Oh, Warlocks are OP with Octarine even at late. I guess Acid Spray stacks with itself, right? So I guess I can use a second Acid Spray as well. I don't know if this is even better than 2 Alchemists. I mean, Alchemist is actually a good unit, whereas like these are just 2 shitty Knights. Wouldn't I rather just have 2 Acid Sprays? Like, the Night Shield doesn't even get that much better. I don't know. Acid Spray is just, like, really good for the kind of board I have, which is, like, a kind of, like, slow grinder kind of fight. So, you just want, like, to tank up and kind of attrition down your opponents, basically. And anything that, like, swings board-wide DPS, like Acid Spray, Heartless, or, you know, it's just really good for this. So, I mean, we are going to go to 9 on 21 for sure here. I will just, like, hard push this aggressive. You underrate human in the meta, TBH? It's not impossible. I mean, I don't think human's useless. Do I even like troll over like a level 2 Tusk? How does that compare? It's like 86 DPS. He's a little item dependent. He gives us some flexibility. We don't have like any real item for him. And Tusk is like frontliner. Troll is more units for Drow Aura. Yeah, I guess Troll is just like a better unit than Tusk. Econ to 9? I don't think so. I don't believe in econing to 9, honestly. I mean, we're only going to lose like 1, maybe possibly 2 points of interest here. And the better value packs we're going to get is just going to make it worth it. We're not losing nearly as much interest as it probably looks like. Like, we're literally losing 1 gold of interest here. I don't think I want to go 4 knights. Level 1 DK kind of does just blow, right? I don't know. Fitting in like a free deuce is nice. Retaliate's not necessarily useless on her. She's kind of a backliner. This guy's board's good. It feels a little awkward not having the other Warlock. I mean, I can put Mr. Warlock in. I think I'd literally rather have a second Alchemist than Mr. Warlock. So we're looking to get a good ass pull on something like an early Tidehunter, I think. I don't know. I think we just want like one decent find where we get like a Warlock that's worth pairing Warlocks for. I don't know. It's possible Omni DK is better than 2 Alchemists. The 4th Knight tier is not that good. And it would burn through my interests as well. I'd play like a Slardar if I found one. I'd play like anything right now. Veno. I mean, Veno over... I mean, the Warlock pair buff is not really that good either. It's like, the important thing to understand about Alliances is like how they scale. Like, look at Knights. It's 30%, and then it's 40, and then it's 55. If I have 2 2-star Knights, I'm very happy just taking my 30%. If I position in a way where CM doesn't, or where CK doesn't walk away from Luna, that's fine. But like, if we look at Warlock scaling, Warlocks kind of suck when there's only 2 of them, and when one of them is bad. Like, I don't want Veno. The lifelink is going to be shit. We don't have a beast to pair. We don't want a beast to pair. This looks like it scales linearly, because it goes 50, 100, 150, but it's a lot more than that. And that's why it's so powerful. It's not linear, because every Warlock will trigger this, right? So it's like some of the best scaling available in the entire game, basically. I think Birch should be on Disruptor here. But I think this is the game where we go to like either 10 on 25 or... I don't know, 10 on 25 is like the kind of... It's sort of hyper greedy. At this point, I mean, we should be taking risks, right? In general. Because I think if we don't finish first, or maybe possibly second, we're probably not advancing. So something like a greedy 10 on 25 could be necessary here. Yo, Kujaba, what's up, man? Welcome to the 1/8 Gay Club. You're high rolling enough to go to early 10 this game. That's how I feel. There is a certain amount of high roll that makes it worth it, and I think it's about this. So we can still respect positioning a little bit. Definitely a case where I want my Disruptor kind of like pinched in. Definitely doesn't want to get blown up by either side. When it's in the middle, it can kind of like, you know, there's enemies on the left, enemies on the right, which means I kind of want like my tanky units to be on left and right, whereas in the middle, you're kind of safe from like multiple attackers, right? It's kind of the idea. Luna Mom has to be better than Troll Mom, right? Not even close, right? Not even close. So losing that one fight on like 21 was slightly awkward. Hurt our economy a bit because we could be on like a nut streak right now. This game was meant for you to win? Pretty much. I don't know. I mean, we've had like really ridiculous RNG at this point, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, if we get a bad string of like when we roll down our 20 gold, and if we find like one legendary and it's Lich, we could still easily get something like second place. Because like endgame RNG can matter a lot more than early game RNG right now. We need a Tide Hunter as well for Retaliate. Yeah, Luna DPS. That's sweet. Part of the reason we replaced Tusk with Troll is just because we have the Drow Aura. Tusk moves out of it, Troll doesn't. Okay, Troll. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about this spot. If I'm at 70 gold, it's possible, even in this case, I'm supposed to play greedy, but even in this case, it's very possible the way to play greedy is not to level to 10 here, but to play like more for economy. No, I mean, we're not really missing a big interest point at all, really. I mean, we're still at 40 gold interest, even if we spend nothing here, but we have to roll down a bit. This is where we can't be playing for interest since we're on round 10 rolls. So we take it down. That's the one legendary. How much do I actually like this? Lich level 1 without mana gain kind of sucks, right? Any other legendary I would slap in here. I think it's a little too dependent on a few things. I don't know. I mean, it could be better than a CM2, just given we don't really have, like, spot for mana here.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
I think that's probably, like, the only thing we can actually take out, though. The fact that I have no mana items on my Lich is kind of shit. Necro is really important. So Necro allows me to potentially go 4 undead or replace one of my warlocks. If I replace Disruptor level 1, I can do that. Do I want to stay in Troll? I think this kind of game I can't stay in Troll. Disruptor is very powerful. The Deuce level 2 will help here. I've got to like get out of my warriors pretty soon, but I think I want like Enigma or Tide Hunter before I do that. And Disruptor's like, it's good, but it's a little bit early for it to be like game fight winning, because it's only really good when I need that silence to literally win the game. Otherwise, it sucks. Drow. Yeah, I mean, I could easily get out of Drow. Her attack speed aura is really good right now, but if I don't want to be in like 4 undead, which, oh yeah, suddenly I don't want to be in 4 undead. So now we go 4 lock and we lose. I think Troll Warlord and Tiny. I think that has to be it, right? So this is the Blightstone floating. I think it's a tiny bit early to take out CK. Next up, maybe it'll be like CK plus something. I don't know. It could have been. The thing is, if I take out, as long as I want Luna, I want CK, and I mean the Troll will go before the Luna.
My means may
For sure.
fall,
Like, that's not even
but the
close.
ends are just.
Oh, Luna with Mom is still doing well at this phase in the game. Still nice. CK for CM2. I don't know. I mean, at 31, that's kind of where, like, CM, Disruptor ults, Tide Hunter ults, like, that's when everything is necessary. And I think we could just do it now. And we have to buy this Tide Hunter and put it in, right? We do lose this interest point. And honestly, the Tidehunter doesn't necessarily make my board better at a level 1 Tidehunter. And we're hitting like the creep round after this too. I think we can actually float this. I just want to focus on positioning. Here, Lich should take some damage, but not so much that it dies. Chance for human silence. Ah, it actually died too fast. It actually... How many attackers did it get there? Did it get 2 or 3 attackers? It wants 1 attacker. If it gets 0 attackers, that's almost as bad as it getting like 3 attackers, basically. Because an ult that happens like after the fight is decided is kind of just as useless. So we'll do this. I think there's no reason to be playing greedy here. We could have had... Nah, there's no item on Lich that actually helps him ult that I don't want on someone else, which would be Brooch. So, what's the next thing to go then? Because suddenly we need Tidehunter in. And the next thing is like Pudge and 4 Undead, right? Which would be Pudge and Drow, I believe. It has to be Pudge and Drow going out, right? Because we can't not have this interest point. That's just ludicrous. So we lose Hunter, obviously. We could have had Hunter. I personally think Hunter is kind of useless at this point in the game. Drought Aura is doing decently right now, but this is where we need to start like replacing our units anyway. Looks like everyone is just like rolling down. This is where like we need to do a bit of a power spike here. It's an easy refresher. We really have no choice there. So refresher on a level 1 Tide doesn't really work that well. I don't know. It might still be a little too early to get out of Luna though. This Luna is still putting in like a lot of work. That'll do. Chainmail just wants to be an alchemist. Refresh Gyro. So Tide level 1 is a bad refresher target, but if he has Retaliate, it can easily give him the mana gain he needs to get the refresher off at level 1. Retaliate and refresher level 1 Tide actually is viable. However, I'm thinking that it's probably not enough. I should probably have it on Gyro here. I don't have a great refresher target. It also feels wrong to miss this interest point, but I don't know how we don't. Also, you could say something about this level 2 Techies being on my bench. The thing is, like, Techies kind of blows, right? It's better BM this way. Like, should I even put this in? Isn't that just a misplay every time? I don't know, man. This Luna is kind of popping off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Bye, Luna. And the board was always just gonna end like this. So, refresher Techies is decent. It's better than level 1 Tide. Something like a Lich replacement. I could have seen keeping something over Lich at the end. I definitely could have seen something like that. We're taking a bit of damage here. As Wolf, Wolf died. That's what, an 11? And that was against Shizubat. And Sleepwalker's board is also streaking as well. Looks like this guy is just kind of on his way out. Looks like we're going to be 3-way very soon. We're not really on outs. We're on 2 outs. We're on 3 outs. I don't know. I'm not... There's always this weird argument about like rolling or greeding here. Because I have high health, it's a lot more okay to play greedy. The problem is... I want to give like Tide Refresher one more chance. I should take it off already though. There's no point in giving it a chance. The problem is that... I don't know. we're on the Disruptor route and the Enigma. And we're even looking for an upgrade on Tidehunter. And these are all the most contested ones. I guess rolling before this guy gets knocked out has to be wrong. We should roll we should wait until after he gets knocked out and then roll. Because there's this pressure to roll early before people take the good pieces. Mostly Disruptor. Disruptor is the piece that this applies most to. But we got it here already. That's good. Let's go ahead and fix our position. Jera can be cross corner against that guy. This is okay. Against this guy, we just want to make sure these guys are taking damage, and Tidehunters and Techies are kind of close enough to do their respective ultis. Tidehunter is close enough to ult here. Techies is close enough to ult here. Techies ult obviously has like longer range than Tide's ult, because he places it in the right direction. So we should be good. I think I need to time my rolls better in like super late game spots, because rolling before this guy died is just an easy misplay. So we chunked this guy for 12. Techies damage? It's only 8k, guys. Now, Techies is not that good of a hero. So they're both out of economy. The other thing is, like, health is a resource too, right? Oh, fuck right off, you edgelord Lamau. I mean, I'll admit, refresher on Techies here, I think is worth doing. This is actually, it's kind of funny. It's the second time I've had a refresher Techies in an auto chess tournament. The other one was in auto chess. I had a refresher Techies. It won me a tournament in auto chess. I forgot about that. Yeah, here's another refresher. Whatever. I don't even care. Refresher Disruptor? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I personally like Refresher Disruptor more than Techies. So this guy's got Fall from Grace. This guy has Human Silences on Lycan and Crystal Maiden. So we want to do this. Because against this guy, he's got the Human Silence coming here from Crystal Maiden. Lycan in front of Tidehunter, which is interesting. He's not prioritizing my Disruptor. With my double Disruptor ulti and single Techie bomb is, oh, sorry, I forgot I had 2 bombs. I guess I have 2 bombs. I think there's not too much else to do here with positioning. I mean, what else is there? So we knocked out this guy. And suddenly there's this weird pressure where as soon as he's eliminated, well, he doesn't have gold, so he's kind of not under pressure, but he'll get gold in a second. And now there's this time sensitive situation to try to get his units released back into the pool before the other guy does, right? Jesus. What are his outs? Is he looking for Techies? Enigma 2 is worth it. So Medusa's letting his Tidehunter get its ultimate first in this case. I've got to watch out for that. Medusa and Gyro should be swapped whenever this is potentially happening. I don't know, man. Imagine if a game like this happens at like an actual tournament, like a big tournament, like a TI or something. Like, what a dumb game, right? Like, what did I do there? I high rolled the shit out of 15 rounds. The first 15 rounds were literally given to me. I like greeted to level 10 on 25, got double refresher on big legendaries. Like, there's not that much else I can really do there, right?